Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the TCS eSports League. We are into week 10 of our league play season. So that means we've got to get really close to the end here, Bacon. We've only got a month left to go of playing matches before we decide who are going to be our top 4 teams making it through the land in Zurich. I'm Switchblade J. Joining me is Digital Bacon for another week here of action. Been out of action for a little bit of time. You know, obviously last week was the Players' Week. We had all the boys come down and help you out as I was still stuck in Scotland, essentially. Let's start off with that real quick, to be honest, because I haven't had a chance to catch the VODs as of yet right now. Let's have a chat about what it's been like for the last week so far.
So last week was a bit of, I would say, an upset personally. I was hoping to watch Sir. They couldn't show up, unfortunately, on the day. So Lawsane get the default win. I don't know, Sir could have caused an upset there, so that's a bit of a disheartening one for me. Savet, Flav is currently on military service, so unfortunately they had to bring in their sub. Wasn't really ready for it, and Arctic got a clean sweep, and it was a convincing one, really showing Flav a key member of that Savet side. Silent Gaming getting a very close 3-2 win over Elvets. That was a great one. And of course, starting off with Whiffmasters versus Monks, we thought this was going to be the continuation of the rise of the Monks, but last week they didn't really show up, and it was one which I was casting alongside Stroby of Arctic Gaming, and we were very surprised because even him as a player, you got to think this is Stroby currently third with Arctic Gaming in league play. They're going, Monks are actually a scary side. If they're on form, they're clicking that day. Monks are a team to actually be feared, and he was saying that, this is the third sort of place in the league, talking about last place. That's a weird one to definitely hear from players.
Yeah, most certainly. That's certainly not what I was expecting to hear. But for the Monks, certainly that might be a bit more of a mentality improvement for them. As of right now, we have our standings of the last week. So Lawsane and Savet still up top 2. Lawsane just pulling ahead of Savet by one single victory, 8-1 so far. Behind them, Arctic, as you say, in third place, pulling in the rear of the top 4 in fourth. And then Whiffmasters and Silent Gaming, Elvets and Monk close out the bottom 4 actually, in that particular order. So still some room for movements. There's still a couple of different positions that we could see overtaking. Most specifically, I'm focusing on the Whiffmasters. They're going to need to get a number of victories if they want to overtake Sir, because there's not a possibility for them to break into the top 4, but it's still going to be quite slim.
So what we're looking at the moment with the leaderboard is, I would say, the expected finishes of the league. This is how we expect it to end up. But the beautiful thing about having 5 more weeks, Jay, is that can change. There's still a lot of growth. You look at, say, the top sort of 4 there, 1 win differentiates Savet from Arctic and Sir. That means that sort of second place is still up for grabs. Lawsane still expected to come out first. We've known it all along. But who knows? A couple of bad weeks and that could drop them down. Lawsane, at the moment, I'd say, are safe in that top 4. I think they are pretty much cemented safe, and the only one out of the lot there, of course. Whiffmasters and Silent, only 1 win ahead of Elvets, and Monk, of course, still only 1 win. Now, these last 5 weeks, they're the most important for Elvets and Monks, aren't they, really? Because they've got to try and fight themselves out of the bottom 2 spots, because otherwise they have to go down into the promotion tournament, which, if you've been knowing it all down at the moment, these Challenger Cups going on Sundays. This Sunday, actually, there's one, the 4th one coming up. Make sure you sign up for that. But these Challenger Cup winners get to go up against the bottom 2 and fight off 8-team elimination tournament to get into next season to take those bottom 2 spots from league play.
Now, of course, the next Challenger Cup is coming up on Sunday as well, so if you want to make sure that you get involved in that, then make sure you sign up right now. I think that's what's the website again? TCS.net, is it? I can't even remember myself. But
bad.
The bottom line is that
TCS eSports League.ch, I think it is.
Okay, there you go.
Raph behind the cameras probably. There you go. TCS eSports League.ch. I was right. Big up me. There is a couple of hyphens in there. And Raph has actually just put, I thought it was bottom 2. I thought it all along, but he said it's bottom 4 are looking to swap those spots. So if that's true, I'm going to be, yeah, it is. Oh, wow. That has just made things even more spicier then. This
Yeah,
gives me an extra little boost.
all of the victories are now important from here on out. Again, as you say, only 5 weeks left. So how about we get started with some matches here, Bacon?
Yeah.
Let's kick things off with another rematch. Whiffmasters are taking on the Swiss Incredible Rebels here. They last played each other back in round 5 on week 5, and it was a 3-2 victory for the Sir squad, able to recover from the week before where they suffered their first loss in the league as of that particular point. And here against the Whiffmasters, they still managed to bring it relatively close, as I say, 3-2 on this series scoreline. Is there a chance that these boys will be able to try and pull up an upset here? Because I still think the Sir are most certainly the favourites coming into this one.
Yeah, definitely Sir are the favourites. They're higher in the league play. That's just how favouritism sort of works. You pick the winners, essentially. But Whiffmasters are a team that are continuously the underdogs to the top 4. Whenever you see these matchups, like we've seen, they quite often go to game number 5. Just quickly looking through, against Lausanne in week 2, game number 5. Unfortunately, Whiffmasters just losing out by 1 game there. Following down the line against Sir last time, like you said, losing out in game number 5. Whiffmasters against Arctic, 3-1 unfortunately there. And against Sever, it was a really naff week in the first week for them. They did not hit the ground running. It was 3-0. So Whiffmasters against the strongest teams can put up a fight. Is just they don't have that little bit of edge so far to get the victory. But they'll be able to go for the VODs, I'm expecting anyway, because these are good players and they would have found out the key to success. So this sort of like reverse bracket is great for the Whiffmasters, and I'm expecting them to get the win today, actually.
Yeah, I'm expecting that maybe they will. I'm actually going to lean to the favour of Sir on this one, just a little bit. I still think the Sir will be able to take it. I think that will be a very, very close match, however. I still expect it to go to all 5 games, as you say. I'm going 3-2 for Sir. You going 3-2 for Whiffmasters today?
Yep, I think Whiffmasters, 3-2. They're just going to edge it out, and we could see a couple of overtimes as well.
Well, let's see those overtimes come to fruition. The players are getting impatient, and we are ready to get straight into our matches. So here we go. Game 1 of the day between Whiffmasters and Sir. Whiffmasters will be on the blue side of the pitch. It's Sir over in orange. So let's see how these boys are going to handle the mustard here as we get started on game number 1. Whenever Sir want to get their 3rd player inside the server. Come on, guys.
RNC, you there, buddy? There he is. Oh, no.
There we go.
There we go.
Got there in the end. Here we go. Kickoff to kick things off. It's Fresh challenging RNZ. Timo. He's going to try to see if he can follow through on this kickoff. Nice start coming through from the Whiffmasters. They get the early offensive pressure, manage to maintain that midfield dominance. But Mirrorwing and Raptor Jesus going to get themselves set up for their first offensive play going off this backboard. Denied by Fresh and Timo. Get it past, trying to see if they can get it past RNZ. He goes towards the corner, passes in towards the midfield where Mirrorwing and Raptor Jesus are playing in. Good shots, good chip. Mirrorwing's actually got a nice open net that you can take control of. Never mind, Wizzy comes through with a nice clutch save. Can't save it for the second one though, as RNZ chips the ball in. 30 seconds on the board. It's Sir with the first.
RNZ here, just a cheeky little monkey off on the side, a great angle, showing that as long as you have got the accuracy, you don't need the power. Such a tricky hit to get on the end of, but he makes it look simple. Team Sir, Jay, they might even blow your expectations out of the water here if they're willing to put on those efforts today.
Yeah, they are certainly willing and ready. Obviously, the pressure mounting for both of these squads. Whiffmasters, such an important victory to get. They have a lot of ground to make up here if they want to try to take top 4. There's plenty that they need to work on right now. In this opening minute, they've been unable to score anything. Again, the passing plays work up so well for Sir. 1 to the second, to the third, to the goal. It's 2-0 for the Sir side.
Quite often you hear casters say they got out of bed on the right side this morning, but we're late into the evening. They just had a good day so far, and they look to continue it into the night.
And only the first 60 seconds ticking by means that this is such a dominant start for the Sir side. Timo, on the other hand, is going to get a fantastic kickoff, but couldn't follow it all the way through towards the goal. Just a little bit off-center, so can't quite get it in. And that would have been a fantastic way for the blue side and Whiffmasters to strike back. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work up. They're going to be back on the defensive lines. Mirrorwing tries to take that possession away, but he may have just set up Timo for a nice double touch. He misses. Unfortunate enough for the Sir side, they are able to hold on to their lead and keep things going back into the counter-attack. Mirrorwing is going to put another one away. 2 on the board for him, 3 on the board for Sir. Whiffmasters starting to fall behind.
Strong constant movement here from Sir is the key to their success so far. Notice whenever they hit the ball, it does get into contact with a teammate. Even if it's hitting into their own backboard, it's because they're communicating where they want the ball to go and just following onto it so perfectly. This is communication to the extreme here, Jay.
Yeah, pretty much to the extreme. They are just playing and firing on all cylinders for this early game. Look at Raptor Jesus intercepting the 50-50, setting things up. If Fresh was not there, that would have been a goal pretty much on target, a 4-0 for the Sur side. They will be forced back to rotate on towards their backboard. Raptor Jesus is here as he flicks it up to go to the center. RNZ puts a shot on target and no one's in the net this time. Starting to see major over-rotations coming through from the Whiffmasters. They're not massive, but they're major nonetheless. They're costing so many goals.
They weren't ready coming into this, it looks like, and then just continuously getting caught off guard. The lads are frazzled. Quite often, what you see at the start of a series is a game like this. Normally a wide open game where we're starting to see the lads of Whiffmasters sort of give up in this first game. They know it's over, so they're going to probably try and chill it out. Because Whiffmasters now need to set up that defense. They didn't really have it before, so if they can just solidify that and then work out, it'd be a big improvement here, just getting caught up against the other players.
A nice intercept from Mirrorwing. They thought that Wizzy had that control, and Timo marked off by the next player. 6-0.
Well, Timo's going for the bump play, trying to remove the attacker from basically in front of his net, thinking they were going for a redirect play, but no, he just got played. Like, that's mind games to the match, Jay.
And it's all the games that work to the favor of Sir. Again, 6-0. At this point, you're looking at, well, are they going to get a Brazil or are they not? Because they most certainly have won this match at this point. I cannot see a way to come back into this. Nice redirect from RNZ. We'll go a little bit high. Doesn't matter too much. Mirrorwing still challenging full control towards that midfield. Nice 50-50 to keep it inside the midfield. Counter-attack gets returned, but just as quickly as it gets towards that orange half, they're able to defend and clear on the Sur side. Back off the backboard one more time. It's sending up for Raptor Jesus and RNZ. Chipped back by Jesus himself. Didn't quite get all of it. RNZ back in towards the top crease. It's Fresh to take it away. Try and defend. Try and clear again. But 60 seconds remain on the clock as Mirroring puts another good shot. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
The problem here is that it just seems like nothing is looking up. It is all going down for the lads of Whiffmasters and going very down south here, Jay. So south, you can think South America it's looking like, because the destination is so close to the Brazil.
One goal is all they really need, and it would have completed the trifecta, but they're going to try and score an 8th right here, the Sur side. Taking that ball right up to the line. Can't quite get all of it done right here. All the Whiffmasters that do feed it back in towards that orange half. It's RNZ to take control alongside Wizzy. And Fresh Mirrorwing puts a shot on target, and no one's there to defend it a little bit too far forward. So Brazil denied by the 8th of all things, but regardless, 30 seconds to go on the clock. I don't think it matters how many goals Sir get at this point. They've won game 1. Whiffmasters need to make some serious adjustments to come back in game 2.
You can actually see the memers on the squad of Sir as well, because Raptor Jesus saved Mirrorwing's previous shot, took it all the way down back to the Sir end. But Mirrorwing, he's not about memes, he's about getting the job done. He wants goals, he does not matter about his opponent's feelings. All he wants is to just buffer those scoreboards, and I don't blame him.
10 seconds to go. Mirrorwing passes into RNZ. This team of Sir looking absolutely unstoppable here, Bacon. 9-0, potentially even 10 will go on the board right here. 6 seconds to go on the clock. Again, it pretty much confirms what we already know, that this first game is going to the favor of Sir. And just by such a disparity of scoreline right here, Bacon, you got to question the momentum and the morale currently in the Whiffmasters camp, as they get double-digited down here at 2 seconds on the clock. Like, they've got to make some serious mental and mechanical adjustments to try and turn this around in game 2 and 3.
Yeah, they really do, and it is all just about laying down the foundations. This is looking like we always say about a group of solo standard players. Like, they're not communicating at all. They're not even playing together. This is worse than that. This is like a bunch of headless chickens onto the pitch for Whiffmasters. I am being super harsh here, but I think the proof is in the pudding there, Jay. You just got 10-0'd. When was the last time in a competitive match you saw double digits?
I don't think I have, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. It's been a very, very long time if I ever did.
I
don't remember it.
Qualifiers for a while, have you?
No, I haven't done open qualifiers. I think that actually was the last time in open qualifier in like TCS. I think that would have been actually the last time we're seeing like a 10-0 or double digits. Yeah, Whiffmasters just getting absolutely swamped. And you can see the scoreboard as well. Like, not that many shots, barely any saves. Like, just this looked absolutely abysmal for the Whiffmasters. And again, you know, they're the top of the bottom four. You know, they need to try and win this kind of a match. They need to try and turn this around to try and see if they can get that final chance at the top 4 scenario.
Yeah, but unfortunately, as you can see on your screen, server went down for maintenance, so we just got to get it back up. 980 points and 940 points there for the top 2 from Sir. Just to reiterate how massive that is, because it doesn't seem like a massively high number. That's like a good ranked game. But in private matches, for those that don't really know, you halve the points. That's just how private games work, to be a little bit more balanced for the XP that you gain, essentially, because your score is XP in Rocket League. So if this was a ranked game, that would be nearly 2,000 points for the top 2 players. That is absolutely nuts there. These lads were just popping off, and you could see the difference here. This is the strongest Sir has been able to look all throughout league play, and it's because their opponents aren't putting up a challenge. The Whiffmasters, I'm being harsh about them today, but it is like they haven't actually shown up. We expect a lot more from them because they're a good team, and as I said, you know, I was backing them to win this one, Jay. I expect them to be able to play of a caliber that could defeat even this squad that we just saw on screen now.
Yeah, if Monks are a team to be feared, then Whiffmasters surely should also be a team that you have to look at. Like, they've got a decent shot at this particular match, and unfortunately, it's just, yeah, this is not looking like the best of performances from them. Obviously, game 1 going pretty awry. Let's see whether they can turn it around in game 2 as it's ready to go live here. Sir, absolutely dominant in their first game of the night, and our first game of the night as well. Kickoff that goes to the favour of the Whiffmasters. They're going to try and get a good shot inside, and Timo's going to get defended against. I think the shot was too wide regardless, but even so, the whole defensive just wrapping things up, making sure they maintain their presence and control away from that orange half. They do get aggressed on once again. The 2 players rotating in R and Z will challenge against Timo successfully. Now challenge him in towards the mid position. Mirrorwing also there to receive upfield. Back over to RNZ. Mirrorwing passes into the centre, and out towards the corner it will go. Timo tries to return. Can he follow through with a goal? No, he kills the ball's momentum, and RNZ is allowed to take control of his own accord. Pass back to Raptcheese. Good pass in. 1-2-1 directly on target, but not quite going if Wizzy has anything to say.
Already a much better game from the Whiffmasters. Who knows? Maybe they just wanted a bit of a challenge today, Jay. But Team Sir, I'm brilliant in the first game. They will look to continue that stride. Already going in for these challenges. They're not coming off because the hits from Whiffmasters are better, but the challenge plays are good still.
Oh, awkward positions being taken. RNZ going to defend against Wizzy's angle. Does get returned back, and it will go back towards the blue half. Wizzy's just going to have to rotate in to save it alongside Fresh and Timo, trying to find different angles outside and inside this box. The ball will once again be on target. RNZ with a nice shot that goes a little bit too far wide to the right-hand side. And Merwin will continue to follow it through as he goes in with a secondary touch off the crossbar. It's pinched in. And there we go. The first is scored by Sir.
So the team plays weren't working for Sir. They just couldn't connect up like the last one. So what does Mirrorwing go do? Solo play. Just pulls it out on his own, using the wall perfectly. 1-0.
Yes, Sir, just keeping the momentum rolling. There's 11 goals scored in a row. Couldn't quite follow it through on the denial on the part of Wizzy, so they just keep it rolling, this hype train of Team Sir. Good pass in, good shot on target. Fresh and Wizzy have to combine to try and see if they can pass it out of the net. Does get returned back to that orange side. Mirroring following, trying to see if he can defend. No, a nice redirect from Timo. Will finally score a first for the Whiffmasters.
Yep, and that will be a massive first for the Whiffmasters there. Being able to get that onto the board means it should now give them a bit of confidence. They'll be able to deal with this. And yes, we are dealing with a little bit of lag with this server, so they'll have to play out this game, then we'll set up a new one afterwards. So players know that. They're all in the same boat here. Just got to make it work.
And it's just for the moment in time, a halfway marker of the match coming back in. Mirroring, passing into the center, trying to set something up for his teammates. Will take control. The ball goes into the mid position. Mirroring chips it over towards the corner. Timo takes control. RNZ trying to center it up, but it goes get returned back over to the orange half of the pitch. Wizzy on shot. Mirroring with a save. Raptor is going to clear it back alongside RNZ, who takes control to the midfield. Now Mirroring following it back around. He's going to be able to chip it up once. Set it up for RNZ going off the backboard. Timo going to try and control it, and does aerial it out the way for the moment, but challenged by Raptor. Mirroring takes control towards the mid position. RNZ trying to find an angle, but very slow pacing. This might have something to do with the connection problems, but regardless, they're still getting offensive set up for the Surf side. That almost went in, but no cigar this time.
Well, you're saying it's all down to the connection issues. It also shows the adaptation of these players. Playing it slowly is a lot clever when you can't really guarantee the hits. Doing these solo attacks like that from Mirroring is clever. This is going to be a low-scoring game, but it's all going to be about that mental fortitude and how you deal with the situation.
A little under 2 minutes to go on the clock. Raptor Jesus, oh, the dribble plays almost worked up. Timo just stops it at the last second. Maintaining that presence back towards the blue half. Wizzy will now clear it back over to orange as they continue to try and set something up. The offensive pressure of Whiffmasters needs to amount to a secondary goal. They need to pull ahead of Sir. They've not yet done so far this series. This could be the chance, but Mirroring able to clear it with the demo coming in from RNZ. Raptor is missing the entire midfield control. The pass back into Wizzy is not going to go well. He puts it wide, Fresh recovers, it just goes to the corner. Timo with another redirect. Raptor Jesus comes through with a save, followed up by Wizzy. He can't get it in. They try and try and try, but the Whiffmasters just fail every single time. It goes right back to their end. Mirroring follows through, but he can't follow through with a counter attack.
It looks as if the Whiffmasters were made for the lag in this one. It is only just up to their game. Somehow, they just want to deal with the most hurt they can. Of course, still good attacks coming out from Team Sir, but Whiffmasters, I don't know why they just needed to be backed into a corner before they could really show up.
Yeah, it's holding a much better game than that first. Oh, close on the part of Raptor. Jesus couldn't clear it all the way. Now pass back in. RNZ's going to find another overcommitment punishment, and just when you thought Whiffmasters were holding on, Sir find the one gap in the fence that they needed.
Yeah, and it's quite funny. Just as the pings sort of like all stabilize on out, the pack losses, sort itself out. Team Sir instantly get it. It's seemingly like they can't handle it as well as Whiffmasters. As soon as they can feel confident about what they're doing with it, they'll get the ball into the net with a massive boomer.
Oh, Fresh and Wizzy going to try to see if they can clear it, try to see if they can keep in control in game two. The ball's bounced up, trying to go for an air on the part of Mirroring. Fresh maintains control. Raptor Jesus entirely fakes it out, and Timo cannot get control. It's Sir to take themselves a 2-0 match point in his best of 5 so far. Obviously, shenanigans apply with the packet loss. Again, we're going to get that server quickly sorted out. But, despite the problems that all the players are facing for Whiffmasters, this is a much better performance here, Bacon. I can't seem to... I can't seem to stress that enough. That was just so much better on the part of the Whiffmasters side to hold themselves down at 2-1. Improvements. Maybe they could turn it back around in the next game.
Well, if you just look at the differential, 10-0, 2-1, that's going to make it, I'm trying to just do quick cast maths, going to be going some way like 8-2? I don't know. Whatever maths. If it's the pattern that's going to, if there's going to be a streak, a sort of pattern going along, it definitely means that Whiffmasters are going to just come absolutely out and bomb it in this next game.
Yeah, seems so, potentially. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you never know what they could try and turn around for. I mean, the last time that they played against the Whiffmasters, that particular match was, it was a little bit of a back and forth affair throughout the entire thing. So this is very much a different set of pace right now for the Whiffmasters side. You know, they were used to scoring that first game, scoring that penultimate game, and then trying to see if they can bring it back against them in Game 5. But you know, even though they are stepping things up and they are looking much better for this for these next couple of games, there is still the possibility that they could also get shut down. And certainly, although they have been getting closer and closer to the mark, it's still Sir the ones that are winning these games. So moving further and further on this one, they've still got a lot of adjustments they need to make to try and turn this around.
Well, it can also be put down to having the break between game 1 and 2 meant that they could talk to each other with Masters. They've got a bit more time now to talk with each other and go, okay, what we changed was better, but we still got to find that little bit extra to take down Sir. They've had time now to talk about it. Hopefully coming into this game with Masters will find that key to victory. Sir, though, they were looking strong, and I'm expecting them now, after the performance today, it looks like it could be another sweep city day for us, Jay.
It might end up being the case. Again, it's all out of this next game. See if Sir can get that full-blown sweep. Already, however, it's Wizzy to get the early shot opportunity for the Whiffmaster side. RNZ will carry it downfield, get it off the backboard, pass it to Mirrorwing, who just takes the ball control away from the opposing force. Mirroring now following through, putting a shot down on towards the box position. Can't quite get it all done. As the ball goes back in. Our broadcaster is not in the lobby, by the way, so I think we're going to have to radio cast this one here, Bacon, as we continue to move forward. Timo back in off the backboard, going to follow back around. Fresh comes through with a double touch. Can't quite get the first shot on target. It is returned back to the blue half, so that way the Sir side can get themselves set up for a goal.
Yep. Moving around quite nicely, and there we go. Our broadcaster has just hopped on in. Still 0-0, of course. 30 seconds on down. Whiffmasters really turned it up once again. It's all down to Sir now playing a little bit more cautiously, Jay. They know what Whiffmasters can do, so they're looking just for solid attacks, keep trying to whittle down that defense, and then make one massive charge to get a goal.
The ball goes right back towards that blue half. They continue to try and defend against it. Whiffmasters demos coming in against that orange side. This could be dangerous. Wizzy cannot follow through. Timo also to back it up, but can't quite get the shot he needs. Mirrorwing will return back to the blue half of the court and get towards the midfield. Dominance out of boost, so he's just controlling into this corner, trying to set up a good shot for his teammates, but won't be able to go all the way. Turned back by Timo as he carries it into the orange corner, passing off the backboard. Raptor Jesus there to put it back away and push it further away. Follow through with the aerial touch, found 50-50 by Fresh. And Timo comes back in for the follow-up. Wizzy controlling it, backboard position. Not going to be allowed everything he wants. Fresh will try and recover the scenario. Actually, a dangerous ball. This could be in time. No. Denied by the defensive side of the Sir squad, as they just managed to hold things down at 0-0. Again, a much better performance coming through from the Whiffmasters. Just unable to pull ahead is their main problem against the Sir side. And Sir will try and take that back to Payne as they get it off the backboard, but can't follow through with the shot.
Yeah, the only problem with that attack is that Whiffmasters weren't going in and taking away the boost from their opponents. Sir was allowed to keep their back corner ones, meaning that they could break away, and you can see now they're able to set up and attack in their opponent's end of the field. It was that one step away from being absolutely perfect, and it could have whittled down the defense of Sir, and Whiffmasters could have come out with the goal. But getting the ball down into their opponent's end of the field, they're following through really well, closing out the space. Whiffmasters reborn here.
Now the halfway marker as well. And keep this pressure going, they could potentially hold on to their series. You know, back in past the Timo, gonna be able to miss that one out. So that one goes off the backboard and goes too far wide to the right-hand side. Now Raptor Jesus gets it over towards Fresh. Backboard putt touch. Mirrorwing and RNZ follow through with the shots, just denied by the defensive players. Now Wizzy left to chip the ball up, trying to get it past the orange line. They will be able to do so at the midfield line and not the goal line, so they just keep that pressure applied. So we're able to return. Mirrorwing challenges on the ground. Timo out of boost to keep the aerial going, so it once again goes back to the favour of Sir, who have had all the offensive pressure so far throughout this game. So going to rotate back. RNZ demoed out. To Jesus is demoed out as well. So a chance now bought by Whiffmasters, but he just can't seem to capitalize quick enough. Wizzy spends too much time controlling the ball and just puts it off the backboard rather than trying to go for a shot. They get the clear on the Sir side and they return to the attacking force once again.
Yeah, Whiffmasters just have to be a little bit more clinical with their strikes. That's a good hit downfield. Because Sir were getting panicky. They were stressed. Definitely with those demos as well. You can see the cracks starting to show in the defense of Sir not looking so solid because they weren't given room to breathe. Great stuff coming out from Whiffmasters. And actually here, RNZ getting that demo, massive from him.
Yeah, taking out one of the front line offenders, essentially one of the strikers for that Whiffmasters side. That leaves us at 0-0 as we approach the last 60 seconds, the last 45 seconds set up now. As once again, it's in the blue half, trying to get a shot in, trying to see if they can break that cycle. Instead, it's a shot coming through, going off the crossbar on the part of Fresh. Mirrorwing follows through as Wizzy tries to keep that control. Finally, RNZ gets a good clear away. Mirrorwing keeps it going towards the corner. Raptor Jesus, not enough boost, not enough momentum off that wall, not able to react in time. Means that ball will go back towards that orange half. Fresh trying to challenge, can't quite continue to get the shot on target, but Fresh will set up Timo for another good redirect that goes too far wide of the mark, so the inaccuracy hurts them again. 8 seconds remaining as Sir maintain their presence into the corner. Mirrorwing lacking in boost, still challenging 50-50, sets up RNZ to go in towards the corner, but it's going to touch the floor, and we'll be in overtime here, Bacon.
Anyone's gained this one. Nothing really to cut the mustard over the other end. Oh, the fakes.
The fakes. One touch. One player touched that ball. Oh, man.
I mean, that is a way to finish a sweep. I'm just saying, 0-0 overtime. Sir really having to put up a fight to get that win. Not only in game number 2, but in game number 3. Whiffmasters, it shows you've got to be there at the start. Because that first game, Whiffmasters were not ready for this today. And they will be kicking themselves for it. Because, like I said, this is a week that they could have possibly won and got major points. They've now got to take into next week and completely clean themselves of those 4. Because every win now matters for them.
Yeah, like, if it didn't already matter for them right now, you know, this victory was very important, and now everyone is just that extra bit of pressure going in from now on. They are still in the bottom 4 as the Sir side continue to dominate and keep control of the top 4 scenario. Now it's 4 victories, excuse me, that separate those 2 teams. So things are starting to look pretty ugly for that bottom 4 now, with Whiffmasters unable to make it further forward. So yeah, that's very unfortunate for them. Yeah, I don't even know what to add again. It's probably one of the more, I don't want to say terrible performance again, I don't want to hark on them too much, but it didn't really look that great going into game 1 and 2. I'm
just going to say a 10-0, like we said, it's brand new to the league, so we'll take that as what it is. Whiffmasters put up a great fight in games number 2 and 3, so they should hold their heads high for that one. It was just unfortunately game 1 happened. Let's just clean it, go on to the next series, because coming up next, we have got Arctic Gaming coming up against the Monks. Monks, massive game for them. If they can win this, it's going to really boost their stats. If Arctic take it, well, then they could be on the fight for second. So, guys, don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll be bringing you that series here on the TCS eSports League.